There's been recent allegations of Jay-Z sexually assaulting a 13-year-old after the 2000 MTV Music Awards. A lot of people have been debunking the story and whatnot, and like a lot of people that were there that night have been coming forward. I'm gonna show y'all this, but recently this morning, Jay-Z Accuser comes forward to NBC News, acknowledges inconsistencies in her allegations. She says, "You should always advocate for yourself." When asked about inconsistencies in her account, she added, "I have made some mistakes." All right, so let me show y'all what I done found. First off, okay, an Alabama woman who accused Jay-Z and Diddy of when she was 13 years old sat down with NBC News to recount what she called a catastrophic event. She said it consisted of a limo ride to a house where there was a party had and a drink that made her feel woozy, an assault by rap stars that would ruin her life, okay? But the woman and her lawyers also acknowledged that there were some inconsistencies in her account in response to questions from NBC News. So basically, the girl says she was in a lot of places that, like, weren't consistent with where they were at. Like, she would say she was at Diddy's house. Diddy didn't have a house at that time period. Apparently, Diddy only had a townhome in that time period. And she said that they went to a mansion, okay? And that night she said that they went to a house party. But apparently the party was in a club that a lot of people were in. Let me show y'all why. Let me show y'all some proof to this. All right, so a journalist that was there that night says, "He didn't. I was working for a prominent paper and I did the write-up for that night. He never went to an after party. And Diddy didn't host a party that night. They were at a Manhattan club called Lotus that night. Diddy was in a private section. Jay-Z was never in his section, nor were they hanging out. Diddy later was spotted entering his New York townhome with Jennifer Lopez at 3 a.m., alone. We ran the photos. In fact, you can even Google them. There's zero truth to this BS story, and it's easily proven, thankfully, which is why he's calling out the accuser. Also, Lotus nightclub had off-duty police officers as bouncers, so there's no way a 13-year-old girl could have came in, nor would they have came in. She claimed it was a party at his house, but he didn't have a mansion back in 2000. Diddy lived in an exclusive townhouse on Park Avenue, NYC, that he bought in 1998. Everything about her story so far just doesn't add up. She said a party at Diddy's mansion. He had a townhouse. She said after party at his house. The after party was at a club, and then everyone went their separate ways. And Diddy was photographed entering his townhouse with J-Lo after leaving Lotus nightclub the same exact night. Another person that was there recollects. They say Jay-Z with fans Brian and Matt photographed while in attendance at the MTV Video Music Awards held at the Radio City Music Hall in Midtown Manhattan on September 7, 2000. That evening, Jay's Big Pimpin' had been nominated for Best Rap Video but lost to Dr. Dre and Eminem's Forgot About Dre. He chose not to walk the red carpet that evening, and there was only one known photograph of him sitting in the audience before he left. Brian and Matt had connections in the entertainment industry that blessed them with all access passes to the award shows. When they went to downstairs VIP bar to grab a drink, they saw Hove and Dame Dash sitting in the corner laughing with the Rockefeller Records crew. Brian approached the group and asked if they could get a photo with the Brooklyn rapper. He asked them where they knew them from, and when he heard Yonkers as the reply, Hove joked, "How y'all are crazy up there." So Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, has exposed how Tony Busby is who's representing the woman and a lot of other people in like these sketchier kind of assault cases. Not to say anybody's story isn't true, but a lot of the times when the story is a little sketchy, he's around. Busby's around. So Busby's known for basically like something's happening, he'll get other victims to lie about said thing, and then he'll do an extortion payout system to where, hey, get this guy, lie and say this, and then we're going to get this money out of him, me and you split that, okay? So Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, has exposed how Tony Busby tried to force a female client to make false allegations and then dropped her as a client when she refused to do so. She also claims Busby's firm pressed her to file a lawsuit anonymously and also discouraged her from filing a criminal complaint. She claims she felt directed and coached by Mr. Busby's firm to say that someone held her down and put drugs in her mouth when that was not her experience. Jay's attorney, Alex Spiro, says a woman reached out to his firm, Quinn Emanuel, on Monday night to share her experience with Busby's firm. According to a declaration filed Tuesday morning in federal court, one of Spiro's associates says she got a phone call from the woman who said she'd previously contacted Busby's firm seeking representation over allegations of trafficking and abuse. She also claims Busby's firm pressed her to file a lawsuit anonymously and also discouraged her from filing a criminal complaint. She claims she felt directed and coached by Mr. Busby's firm to say that someone held her down and put drugs in her mouth when that was not her experience. Spiro's associate says the woman told her she felt forced to lie, and when she refused to change her story, she says Busby's firm dropped her as a client. A whole different client says a former client claims Busby acted more like a loan shark than his lawyer in a personal injury case. So as of now, basically, Jaden put out through his lawyers, like, look, we need to go to court. She needs to be there. All this Jane Doe and talking on my name. Nah, we ain't doing all that. We're not settling out. We're not settling out nothing. Let's take it to trial and let's put it in front of the real court. I don't know, but a person that's guilty ain't trying to see the court like that. So I don't know whose side to be on. I'm not on anybody's side, but there is a bit bias to it based on the information that I know and the history of the lawyer representing the person that's accusing Jay-Z of this in 2000.